Hello everyone and welcome back to another brand new video. Today is the day we have all been waiting so long for, the premiere of Pokémon Horizons. Now, we were talking about maybe me doing a bit of a live reaction with you guys, or not a live reaction, but a reaction to the episode once it was online, but long story short, it doesn't look like they're allowing the episode to be posted anywhere on YouTube, at least for now. I can't find it anywhere, and it's been out for a few hours, I know, but I'm not able to see it or find it anywhere. And even if I could find it, I really do not want to risk my channel getting a strike or anything, because clearly it looks like they don't want it to be posted, so even still, I don't want to risk that. Now, there is another video that I did record of me reacting to the preview trailer that they did upload. That video is up on their channel. The preview for the next couple of episodes is there, so I figured that was fair game, so hopefully that will not be an issue. So I did react to that, and I said I would try to get another video out for you guys today where I basically try to summarize the actual episode itself. And thankfully, we do have Cerebi with the episode screenshots. Basically, Cerebi has always posted when the episode airs. He can't post the actual video itself, but he does post images. So on his website, if you go to, his most recent post today for Pokemon Horizons, you will see that he did post the episode screenshots. So it's not as good as the episode itself, sadly, but it is something. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the images. I unfortunately won't be able to post them all exactly here, but of course I'll link Cerebi's website in the description, and I'll post some imagery on the screen that I can, maybe some imagery from the newest teaser trailer or the opening, anything like that. So with all that being said, let's get right into this video. So the episode begins, we know how the episode begins because last week we got the first 2 to 3 minutes of the first episode where we see Liko, we see the introduction to the Pokemon world, and we see Liko going to the bus stop on Route 22 to wait for her bus to go to the Indigo Academy. So moving on from there, we see Liko finally arrive at the academy, and she seems to just try to get into things, try to find her room. She passes by some students with their own Pokemon, and she goes to find her roommate, which is that girl that we later see with the Oshawott with the purple hair, with the cute little tooth. I really like this girl. I like her design, is so adorable. So that seems to be her roommate, and we see her, meet her, and I guess become kind of friends with her. So they talk for a little bit, and basically we just see Liko get accustomed to things. Then we see a little bit of Liko watching a battle between a Machoke and an Espeon with her roommate friend, and I'm going to need to find her roommate's name. So Liko's friend's name is Anne, A-N-N, Anne, so yes. So I'm going to use her name throughout this video now, since I know her name. So Liko and her friend Anne watch the battle, and then we see Liko watching some videos on her Rotom phone, just looking at some starter Pokemon, and then we switch to the nighttime where Liko was writing it looks like she's drawing some notes on her Rotom phone, or Rotom iPad. It's like a really big, I guess the Rotom phone can change sizes because it's really large. It looks like she's just taking notes from throughout the day. Then we see some shots of Liko in different classes, until finally we see Liko go to the class with the homeroom teacher, where she is given her first Pokemon. And it looks like they just are picking randomly the Pokeballs out of this big case which has all of them, and Anne chooses one and she gets Oshawott. Then Liko chooses one and she gets Sprigatito. So right off the bat, Liko seems to really like Sprigatito, but it doesn't really seem to like her. It kind of runs away from her, and she has to go out chasing it. And she does eventually find it, but it's just continuing to run away from her, and eventually it winds up on this rooftop, which is the scene where you see it fall off and Liko has to catch it. And then she ends up landing on this Snorlax, so she is safe. Then later we see her in the evening time, and she's still trying to bond with Sprigatito. Then we see a clip to the next day, it looks like, where we're just seeing a video of Nidothing and Quaxly again. Then we see a shot of Anne with her Oshawott, and they're in the room just relaxing. And then finally we get to a battle where Liko is going to be battling her friend Anne and Oshawott. And unfortunately, it looks like Oshawott winds up beating Sprigatito, which isn't too much of a surprise because Sprigatito isn't really listening to Liko all too much. But that is okay. So anyway, we do see more of Nidothing and another video of Nidothing, and I'm surprised by how much we're seeing Nidothing. And it looks like she's doing a video where she's going over basically type matchups and, type advantages. So Liko is watching that, and I guess that's helping Liko learn how to battle. So then we see a shot of Liko and Sprigatito training at night, I guess working on battling. But it looks like Sprigatito isn't still listening perfectly to her. Then we see her go back to her room, and she talks to Anne for a little bit, and they have the cutest pajamas on. They have these, looks like blue footy pajamas. Well, I don't know if they're footy pajamas, but anyway, they're wearing these adorable pajamas. And then we see Liko show Anne her pendant. And the next day we see them in class again, And we see Oshawott, it looks like he's kind of just training, practicing punches or something, whereas Sprigatito is way far away from Liko on a rooftop again, just not spending too much time with her. Then we see Liko kind of on her bed, looking like she's kind of upset. Then we see Sprigatito, I guess, trying to talk to her. Again, sorry guys, it's a bit hard to see what's happening because we're only looking at screenshots. But again, we see, I guess, the girls back in their room. Sprigatito is again running away from Liko, and she's trying to go after it. And then finally we see Orla and Molly from Freed's crew, and they are walking around the school, it looks like, which is really interesting. So Sprigatito is running around again, and Liko is calling it to come to her, which it does. Then we see more of Freed's crew. We see Ludlow and then Murdoch, and they also, all of them seem to have Rotom phones as well, so we're seeing way more Rotom phones this time around. Well, I don't know how many they showed us before in Journeys. I didn't really watch Journeys, but it seems everyone now has Rotom phone. So anyway, we cut to Liko again training with Sprigatito, but it doesn't look like it really wants to listen to her. It looks like it wants to go to sleep. Then we see Amethio walking around the school, and we see Anne with Oshawott, and they're just all, just walking around talking to each other. Wish I knew what they were talking about, guys, but unfortunately I don't, so I'm just gonna have to keep going. And then we see Amethio, and he ends up talking to Liko, and he gives her this letter, but Sprigatito seems to really not like Amethio for some reason. So anyway, we switch to nighttime once again, where Sprigatito has once again run off and Liko is going after it. And as Liko is going and chasing it, she is attacked by Zur with his Rhydon, and Sprigatito actually battles it. And it looks like he's able to stop it for a little bit, but and Liko is able to run away with Sprigatito, but they are then stopped by Amethio. And so Amethio looks like he's about to battle her, but Freed then swoops in on Charizard, and then Cerulet and Charizard basically just duke it out in the battle, where Liko is just kind of watching, and she's pretty scared, but then she and Sprigatito looks like they try to fight a little bit, but then they just run off, and Amethio fires an attack at them, and we see the scene where she jumps off of the building with Sprigatito, and it looks like she's about to fall, but her pendant starts to glow, and this is actually where the pendant puts this protective bubble around her, and that is the end of the first episode, actually. So, moving straight into episode 2, Liko has this protective bubble around her, and this shield, and she sees this very strange Pokemon that we've not seen before. It looks very similar to Terrapagos, or kind of to me, it looks like a little turtle thing, but it doesn't look like Terrapagos exactly. But we see it for like just tiny quick little second in this bubble, and the protective barrier breaks, and Liko and Sprigatito do fall, but she is saved by Freed, so that's all good. So Freed basically flies her to safety, and everything looks fine. And Amethio and, Zur and Konia, they're just looking off at them. And then they head off, and then we go back to Liko and Freed, and they're just flying on Charizard. He's, I guess, taking her to the airship. So they do arrive safely on the airship, where they do meet they meet Murdoch and all the other members of the crew, and Sprigatito is interacting with Rockruff. And so I'm guessing all of them introduce themselves. They also have Fuecoco with them and their Palmy, so we get to see a lot more of their Pokemon, and this does pretty much confirm that all those Pokemon that we saw in the poster are theirs, including, the Noctowl, the Snorunt, the Shuckle. We see all of them. And they just seem to introduce themselves to each other, and Sprigatito seems to get along with Rockruff and Fuecoco and Palmy and the other Pokemon. So that's interesting to see. And so we see them interacting with each other for a little bit. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't know what they're saying because we can't see them, but we see Liko holding her pendant, and eventually we see the crew go into the airship, and we see some other Pokemon flying around, and the Pokemon that we see flying are actually a Corviknight and a couple of Skarmory, which are actually Amethio, Zur, and Konia flying on these Pokemon. I'm guessing they're going after the airship. Then we see a shot of Liko talking to Molly with some other Pokemon, and it looks like they see that Amethio and the Explorers are basically on their tail, and we actually finally see Captain Pikachu here. And Captain Pikachu, well, actually, I think we saw him before. Actually, no, we didn't see him before. It was only Charizard. So yeah, this is the first time we see Captain Pikachu, actually. So we see him, he's basically in his little captain's seat. And basically, I guess the crew are trying to keep Liko safe. They're trying to keep their eye on the Explorers, but also trying to get away from them. So everything looks fine. And we also see on the ship Quaxly, so they already have a Quaxly on the ship. So yeah, I think people were speculating, thinking that there could have been a chance that Nidothing's Quaxly would go to the main cast, but no. I was thinking, probably they would just catch a Quaxly, but actually, it seems they already have a Quaxly on the main cast, We don't know who it's owned by or if it's just another one of the random Pokemon owned by everyone. So it's already on the ship. I'm guessing maybe it'll just bond with Liko and Roy and maybe become closer to them, and maybe one of them will get him. But either way, long story short, the explorers are hot on the Volt Tackler's tail, and they're just going after them, and they're just trying to get away from them. So this continues on for a bit of a while. Liko gets kind of scared because they're just in this big storm, it looks like. But all the Pokemon are kind of just trying to stay together, keep calm while the explorers are coming after them. And eventually, it does look like they end up infiltrating the ship and taking hold of Sprigatito. But Liko does go to come get it. But the explorers are still talking to her. Again, I wish I knew what they were saying to her. But they are just talking. It looks like they're talking on kind of friendly terms. They don't seem to be being aggressive here. Liko is just with Amethio, Zerinconia, calmly, free, just talking to them with Captain Pikachu. It doesn't look like they're doing anything nefarious or antagonistic, so I guess maybe they're just talking for right now. But it does look like Freed and Captain Pikachu do end up battling Amethio and Ceruledge, so that is interesting. So they battle for a bit, and in the end, I can't really tell who wins the battle. I'm not sure if there's even a conclusion. It looks like they're both fine in the end. But in the end, it looks like Sprigatito looks like maybe it wants to battle, so it does. So it battles a little bit against the explorers, but in the end, the wind from the storm ends up blowing Sprigatito off of the ship, and Amethio takes it, and they just fly off. So the episode actually ends with Sprigatito actually being taken by the explorers. So it doesn't happen in the next episode. It's already kidnapped by the next episode. And it ends, I guess, with the explorers deciding that they're going to go after them. So that was the quick summary of the first two episodes. Sorry I couldn't really show any footage or anything more than a couple of screenshots. But like I said, I gotta do what I gotta do, and I don't want the channel to be at risk of any copyright strikes or anything if I were to show actual footage. So I hope this summary was enough. Unfortunately, again, with no dialogue, no talking, I can't even see what's happening. It's a bit difficult, but that's what we're gonna have to do for today. Sorry if it isn't the best, but at the very least, I hope this quick summary was enough for you guys, and that you guys are at least interested in checking out the first episodes. I'm interested in checking out the first two episodes. Hopefully I will be able to watch them and give you guys a bit of a better summary if I can. If not, hopefully this was good enough. Again, it wasn't ideal, but we have to do what we have to do to keep the channel safe. So, yeah. Anyway, at least I was able to get out this video. And again, I do have a separate reaction video that is also coming out today, where I show a little bit of the preview of the episodes to come. I guess the one downer point was that Roy didn't appear at all in these two episodes, but it does look like he will be appearing in the next couple episodes after they get everything together with Sprigatito and Liko and them reuniting. So that'll be good to see at least. So with all that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy these videos, even if they were a bit unorthodox. And you guys, if you guys are able to watch the episodes, let me know what you guys think of them. And I will see you guys in the next video that we do. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you all then.